All right, all right, all right. What's up?
Welcome everybody to Developed. Tonight we're going to be talking about our recipe apple fritter. Hope you guys mixed it up. We also have a couple guests tonight. We have ML Nikon
Hi.
and we also have Jerry.
Yo, how's it going?
Jerry helped us out with this recipe and really interested in hear what Folkart and Jerry how they came up with it.
Spice.
Yeah.
Spice. So what have you guys all been up to?
I
Go ahead.
well, I've been pretty busy today. Had to do a bunch of running around. My brother's girlfriend is in the hospital, and so I'm kind of working on three cylinders. Not doing too well, but I'm here. I'm ready to talk about apple fritter. So
Everybody's okay.
yeah. She's okay. She just she had a scare, so everything's good. Everything's good.
Oh, hope it stays that way.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Life happens.
It's true.
Yeah.
Anybody get anything new in? Anybody play around with anything? Try new recipes or anything?
Not yet, unfortunately, because I've been in Athens, Georgia all week,
What are you doing there?
looking at colleges.
Oh,
Went
yeah?
and visited the University of Georgia. And
How's
I
that?
gotta say, Athens is actually really fucking nice.
I've heard it's cool. I heard it's like super cool there.
It is. It's I didn't want to like it because no offense to everyone, I don't want to move to the South. I want hockey, basically. But,
They have no teeth, but it's for a different reason.
yeah, but like, no, it's actually a really nice, lovely city. A lot of great food places, really competitive and good pricing. It's a lot like some of my favorite places I've ever lived, just slightly bigger. So
Savannah's supposed to be real cool
It's
too,
nice.
though, right?
Savannah's cool. Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been there ever. I've never been in the South, anywhere near the South.
Savannah's really cool, but Athens definitely surprised me. It's just a college town of 130,000 in the middle of a forest with hills, and it's just gorgeous. And then you had like about 60 bars and food places, including one guy who won Top Chef a couple of times and now has like 2 Michelin star restaurants there.
You're gonna
And
hate
then-
that.
Oh, I know, but I'm gonna love it because, like, food wise, it was. I mean, you can go to a Michelin star restaurant, and it's because there's so many restaurants that the food pricing was competitive enough that it was like $25 a meal for a fucking Michelin star restaurant.
That's crazy, and they do your tires at the same time. It's insane, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's a great deal. Yeah, that sounds like it's right of what you want to be doing right now. Shit,
Cheap food, that's really good. Yeah, dude,
Good
it's
food.
hard to beat that.
cheap, good food and beer and forests and bars.
When I was in Atlanta probably 2 years ago, it was some of the best food, and I was shocked when the bill came. It's so cheap and so amazing.
Did it live up to everything you thought it was? Was it as good as everyone said?
Yeah, I was gonna move there.
Really?
I was gonna move there 2 years ago when I was still working as a chef, and my previous chef, he had moved down there, offered me a job, but the money that, it didn't really, it was a little bit expensive to budget.
You didn't think you'd make it? Like you didn't think you would pull it off, or what?
No, no. Yeah, the income to how much, where we looked in rent and everything, it was just, would have been really tough.
Was you and your girlfriend were down there looking?
Yeah.
What would you say to her on the way back? Lots of positive stuff.
Well,
Like
I mean,
about moving there.
we were gonna move there because she was trying to transition and everything. She works at
Oh, really?
yeah, she
I'll
works.
leave that alone. I'll leave that alone. His girlfriend's transitioning.
No, she worked for a makeup company, and she was trying to instead of being for like a counter executive, she was trying to do work more for the company.
Oh, okay.
But so she was trying to get a bigger position down there. It's just a lot to gamble on. So
No, that's
didn't
fair.
really know.
It's a big life. I mean, it's a big life move or a life decision.
Yeah,
So definitely got a lot of thought to go into it.
Yeah, it's an incredible place though. I mean, if anybody ever is looking to go somewhere on vacation, I recommend it. It's great. Go there for the food alone.
I was super impressed with the food. Yeah.
So have you mixed anything up, Emily?
Working on a lemon bar from Mix and Vixens, and have just been doing a shitload of single flavor tests of coffees for Noted.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that always fun? I'm sorry you have to do that again.
Oh, I have to pick Emily's brain then, because I'm working on a coffee right now. Yeah. Can you divulge any really good coffee flavors?
Brazilian.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you want. Like, if you want just a straight black, like coffee, I would go with, like Jerry said, one of the flavors Brazilian. But if you're anything like me and you want something a little more bitchified, then I really like Purellum caramel coffee and sweet milk. Vape Train Cafe Latte is a really good one, and one of flavors smooth cappuccino and cream is good. Like, it's just all those are just kind of more mild, and you don't really want to go like too strong on coffee because they all kind of have that really bad bitter like burnt popcorn type note, right?
Right.
Yep.
No.
Hanks and hazelnut too.
Yeah, Hanks and hazelnuts it's good because it's like stronger and not as sweet.
Right, but it's still pretty creamy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I just got in this Health Cabin caramel macchiato. I don't know. Is that how you pronounce it? Macchiato.
No, don't correct him. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I make up words. I make up words. So
No, it's a macchiato. You're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's macchiato.
And it's got that caramel coffee note. That's kind of what I'm working with now. I really like it. It's pretty nice. I got a ton of Health Cabin stuff in a couple weeks ago. And I'm just kind of now going through it. So,
have you been liking them?
I've only tried about 5 or 6 of them so far. They're different. I've been told that Health Cabin just rebottles stuff and puts their name on it. I don't know. Really? I don't know if they do or not, because the ones that I've tried seem to be a lot different than TPA or Capella or even Hanks.
They've got some real winners, but they're different.
Well,
yeah. So there's a lot of not good ones. Like, they're different in a bad way.
Yeah,
you got to start out at the lowest possible, as low as you could possibly go, because those literally like 0.26. It's too much. Yeah. 0.25 is like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to really.
They're strong.
Dial it the fuck in with those, because it's super strong. Like, some of them you can't even. I don't even think you can go low enough. Like the corn, the sweet corn.
You can't go low enough for the sweet corn.
That's like, what is going on there?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like the oatmeal cookie too. I think y'all just had a show about oatmeals and granolas and stuff, didn't you?
Yep,
and I think Dave said that he thought it was crap. I actually kind of like the Health Cabin oatmeal cookie, but you got to use it really, really low. I don't, like you say, I don't think you can actually use it low enough because it's so strong, so potent.
I got it in. I haven't played around with it yet, but it's very dark.
Oh yeah, it's very like dark. Slap in the face. Yeah. It is.
You think you should make a dilution out of most of those flavors? You think
some of them, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think that might help, maybe, because they're what they're trying to go for. Most of the time, seems really usable, really good, but it just doesn't work out like that.
Yeah. Don't get the sour. I think it's called sour cherry. It is total crap.
It's trash.
It is total trash.
You are mad at that flavor. I love it.
What?
Yeah.
Did somebody say that they liked it?
No, I said, why would you think anything different?
With a cherry, it's
You
they
expect a good
I
cherry.
always expect cherries to be good, and they always turn out to just
Oh,
disappoint me.
you live in a world of disappointment.
yeah,
I
you do
do.
because
I do.
cherries in general in the wild don't taste like cherry flavoring, and then cherry flavoring doesn't taste that good. So
Cough syrup.
yeah, but I think they ruined it for us back in like whenever they developed cough syrup because it's grape and cherry, right, are the two that we always say taste like.
Cough
But
Oh
syrup.
yeah,
cough syrup,
definitely.
did those
Yeah.
still taste like that? And then what they say? You know what I mean? Like there's, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
It's kind of hard to get away from that at that point.
right? Is it the medicine that's tasting like it, or is it the flavorings that are tasting like that? You know,
Yeah.
you
Right.
equate it to the medicine, but I don't know. They kind of ruined it for us, I think.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. They suck anyway.
Yeah, they're terrible. They're awful.
If somebody could come up with a true tartness to a flavoring,
Right.
that's really all you need for a cherry. Because when you eat a cherry off of a tree, all I get is just a tartness, like those little May cherries.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just tart. That's all it is. It's no
Yeah, like a little tart bomb.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the reason why they have such a hard time trying to replicate it.
Luden's cough drops. Nailed cherry. What? How come no one can get that?
They're so good.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? That's like what cherries. That's like the holy grail, right? Like what everyone's striving for. No one can do it.
Yep.
Why don't we just go talk to Luden?
Yeah. Hey, that's a good
Yeah.
idea. That's a good
Mr.
idea.
Luden.
Yeah. Okay, so there's my disappointment with cherry.
If I'm breaking news.
So I've been working on a couple more recipes too. I'm still working on my peanut butter, getting pretty close to a peanut butter base. Like I said, I've been working with some coffees and a vanilla Oreo. Been working on that.
That is so good.
Turned out pretty good.
I believe in you. If anybody
you?
can do it, definitely.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
So that peanut butter, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I still need to get a little bit more of a creaminess note to it, but it's pretty damn close. We'll see. When it's ready, I will release it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Max, you've been mixing up anything interesting or uninteresting?
You know what? I actually mixed up a recipe on ATF called lemon curd.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember who made it. Let me look for it real quick. And I mean, I mixed it basically because it had yogurt drink and it had Vape Train's lemon meringue tart in it.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
yeah, you can't really go wrong with that.
You really went on a limb there, huh?
Yeah, really. Well, I've been really liking a lot of lemon bakery, so I'm really looking forward to what Emily's got for tomorrow. But it's made by Mix and Hope. Never heard of them. But it uses lemon meringue tart, vanilla pudding, vanilla swirl, and yogurt drink. And
How can that not be good?
it's really good.
Awesome.
That sounds amazing.
I don't know if it's a lemon curd, but it's definitely just a really good lemon creamy. It's not really like when you make like lemon curd and everything, it's not really, it kind of gets a little bit of that flakiness that I get from the lemon tart,
Mm-hmm.
but it's damn good. Mr. Burgundy, Alfred did make a lemon curd. He made a lemon curd cheesecake, which is also really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check out both those recipes. They're both really good.
Absolutely.
What's going on noted tomorrow, Emily?
Coffees.
Coffee is it all? Yeah. Okay.
Coffee's number 2. We liked
Yeah,
it so
so
much
many.
we had to do it again.
Yeah. What happened? Are you redoing some of the same ones?
Well, we're gonna talk about the highlights of the older flavors, but there's a lot of newer and of course obscure coffee flavors out there that we're gonna be talking about.
Not just popcorn. Brewed popcorn.
Not just popcorn.
I'm-
Brewed popcorn.
I'm convinced now. I could be wrong on this, and this could be a stopgap fact of mine that I love to put out facts that aren't true at all.
You do.
I'm convinced that Sugar Smack cereal is supposed to be coffee. It looks like beans, and it tastes like all that. Right? Do you think that's what they're doing there?
No.
No.
Could also be like
Not at all.
Yeah, I think you're mixing things up a little bit.
What do you mean?
I never
just because it looks like a bean.
Yeah.
It looks like a coffee bean.
It kind of
And
look. It also looks like an oat that's been puffed.
Yeah, they're just puffed oats.
Yeah, well, maybe they use that to their advantage. Crafty people.
Hey, we can try it. What do you think? Cannoli shell?
Probably. It's probably that and native at 2%.
Yeah.
So it could be.
You know, Emily actually brought something up earlier today, and it kind of blew my mind. That Wonder Flavors roasted pecan and cream. She said it's like a coffee.
Yes.
It most definitely is. Yeah.
It totally
It's a
fucking
really
is.
good coffee.
Yeah. Like I did a knuckle test too, and it's unbelievable that it's coffee.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Starbucks made, like, you know, the grab and go kind of ones. That's what it reminds me of.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are we going to talk about apple fritters or what?
Hell yeah.
Are we?
Yeah, I mean,
Might as well.
should, maybe. Oh, you guys knocked it out of the park, I think.
So did everybody mix it up? I don't think Emily had a chance to mix it up though. But the other guys, did y'all all mix it up?
Yeah, I did. I didn't have the Flavora apple. They were out when I got the line. They were out of it, so it's I used red apple,
Okay.
which is I mean basically the same, right? Just a little bit red apple's a little waterier.
They're still a bit different because the apple is more like a cooked apple, and then the red apple is just flesh. But what we're using it for, it probably shouldn't matter that much.
What can I even use to make it more accurate? Do you think? Because I literally have like 73 apples, I think.
I mean, red apple, possibly cooked apple, possibly cat Fuji was when I was thinking. Literally just anything that adds body to an apple.
Cat Fuji's so.
The red apple, red apple probably would work. That's why we were thinking about it.
Cool.
Somebody had mentioned using Perillum country apple, maybe.
The country apple, yeah.
When I was watching the show, I was screaming at my screen. Apple filling in country apple. Apple filling in country apple.
You have no idea. The fact that you're that excited about this, that I love that you're screaming at the screen. It's great. It's quality.
I'm a
It's quality
passionate
entertainment.
person.
No, I love you.
Even in the comments, people were yelling country apple. And after the fact, people were like, why didn't you use country apple?
Yeah.
Guess trying to start
That's
a war.
good. It's
I didn't have.
made for this profile.
I know it probably. Well, here's my fuck up. I didn't have Flavora apple either because pretty hard to find nowadays.
What'd you use?
I use Cap Fuji.
Oh, I thought you used the green apple candy.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Fuji.
I heard the same thing, that it was kind of hard to find. Have they discontinued it or something?
They might have. I don't
There's a
know.
lot of stuff going on with them, right? Like, aren't they having no, Liquid Barn is one that you can't
Don't
get. The
be spreading
lava cake.
rumors, Graham.
No, the lava cake. I heard you can't get the lava cake anymore.
It was just sold out on one of the. I think.
Yeah.
Well,
It was sold out.
I don't
Sold
know.
that
I
on their
don't.
own site.
Yeah.
Let's not be putting a scare into the world.
I don't know. I heard it's facts.
I did mention it too
Not
during the
facts.
show too, though, and I'm not sure if it made it into the cut, but it was just like we did have that discussion of like, oh, we were going through Flavora apples and realizing there's 13 of them or whatever. Just like, okay, so are we going to use apple or red apple, granny apple?
Apple pop.
Yep.
Or
They
just
did go crazy
Apple.
with their apples.
We should just make it all apple.
And then, well, no, then we always forget that there's just apple,
yeah, just apple.
like just apple. The company that makes every apple also just makes apple.
I think I've tried all their apples except for just apple.
Too. Yeah. I feel like an idiot, like trying to get it, because there's like so many. Like why would I? You know what I mean? But if it's that much different,
Well, I had flavor tested it. It's been a couple of years ago, and in my notes I wrote, this tastes like a cooked apple with no cinnamon. It's just a raw cooked apple, and I think that's kind of why we went with it, because we were just wanting to add that cooked apple texture kind of to it.
Yeah,
Backup-
like
backups,
it's entirely there for a cooked body,
Yeah.
more so than like extra taste.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Capella Double Apple might be a good.
That was a
Into
thought
that
too.
too.
Yeah. So like if someone doesn't have flavor apple, just play around with it because you're just using it at 1 to 2%, literally just to add some body to it.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
don't-
You can use like whatever your favorite apple is. The only one I would probably stay away from is Flavor Art Fuji.
Yeah. Like anything that's Jolly Rancher
Yeah.
or like too
Right,
candy,
top heavy.
basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
you just backing up the apple filling, right?
Mhm.
Pump it
Yeah.
up.
That was the
Exactly.
idea.
You're just filling it out. So, what about the crust, guys? What's the crust like for that?
I got to tell you something real quick. On paper, it looks like it's going to be just complete bread. You know, like in it doesn't turn out that way. But like looking at it, because I wasn't in on the, development, it looked real bread heavy. But
Mhm.
balanced out.
But it's not. But
It's not at all.
Yeah, no, I think the idea was we wanted something kind of lighter and fluffy, but I just started throwing out spiced things just to see like
Well,
what could we see play, and like I was worried that we're gonna muddle everything with all of the spices,
Right.
but it worked.
talking about spice things, I was thinking about something that could maybe replace like a couple of those flavors, and it's Wonder Flavor's deep fried pastry dough, because it's got like a nice kind of spice background that I think would play well with the apple filling.
Yeah, I think that would definitely work as well. I was like surprised that Liquid Barn Belgian waffle was even mentioned.
Yeah.
But when Jerry, I think Jerry was the one that suggested.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I thought of that and was
It's
like,
like-
wait, that's perfect
yeah, why not? Why not?
because it's light dough.
Mhm.
Like at its base, it's got a cinnamon note to it, it's got a maple note, but you can cover up the maple note and then it's just light dough.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was cool. Like, because I saw the recipe first and then watched the episode. Like, so watching it and then watching the episode, watching you guys come up with all this stuff, that was pretty cool.
Like
Yeah.
didn't know if it would work, but I definitely wanted to at least try it, and it ended up working really well.
It worked ridiculously good, like
Yeah.
shockingly well.
Yeah, the idea to this recipe was to make some type of like cinnamon Danish kind of thing, without using Cap cinnamon Danish swirl. You know.
Yeah, no, see, yes.
Yeah, that was the idea behind it, because that taste is just so familiar. Everybody uses it, and we wanted to create something that didn't use that, but still had that same feel to it.
Yeah.
And I think it worked out pretty good. Did y'all think that it changed very much with the steep?
You did?
I did, and I got some pretty interesting things along the way. I picked it up and vaped it every couple days, and I think what did I have? The first off note I got after like probably around 3 or 4 days is I weirdly got like a Play-Doh note, but it went away like immediately. And I think that would be from the Liquid Barn Belgian waffle or some combination with it. But it's not going to really scare you away. It does disappear, but I definitely got some kind of a Play-Doh note. And, it just, something weird was going on there. But I was vaping that gingerbread mix that I made, and then I dripped the apple fritter on top of it, and I got an Apple Jacks.
Nice.
Apple Jacks, oh, awesome.
And that was the weirdest thing, because they both the other one, it was just 3% of Capella gingerbread, 3% of Wonder Flavors vanilla ice cream, and 3% Capella's V1 graham cracker. And the two of them made like a weird Apple Jack. Very strange thing that happened there. But the more I vaped on it, it was just full on apple fritter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Flavor wise, I was super happy with it for Shake and Vape.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it's really in your face, and I love the pastry zest in there. Really makes that apple pop a lot more.
Mhm.
Which that was the thing I was worried about the most. Was you
Yeah.
taking apple filling, pastry zest, Belgian waffle, just even the Flavora apple. Like you're taking a bunch of things that have some spice to them, and then graham cracker on top. Like it's all just spiced crap.
Yeah, a lot of times they can clash with each other.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Like I was like super worried that it's just going to get super muddled, and all of them work together beautifully.
Yeah.
That was super surprising, and that's why we're like, okay, we're onto something.
Now the first version that we came up with, it had a really good flavor to it. I mean, you could really taste that apple filling and everything in it, but we wasn't getting much bread note from it, and so we decided to add Flavora sweet dough to it, and boy, did that like really clash. It did something really funky.
That was not good.
Yeah. I don't know what was going on, but it was almost like when we added when we added that, it's like it enhanced the pastry zest or something. It just, I mean, it was just like overpowering.
It went from being the apple filling being the star to pastry zest and Play-Doh being the star.
Yeah. It did not work out. Absolutely not.
You know, a lot of times what I'll use when I'm wanting to not use CDS is Liquid Bar and Baker's Touch.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's definitely a good replacement for that. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
The Wonder Flavor was a cinnamon pastry. That one works too.
Fried pastry dough.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's.
Oh, it's cinnamon pastry. Yeah,
There's cinnamon pastry
more
dough
so.
or what? Just cinnamon pastry, right?
Cinnamon pastry. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, that's
killing it.
Yeah, that's the one pastry that I kind of go to instead of grabbing Cap Cinnamon Danger Swirl. That's the one I grab. Is the Wonder Flavor cinnamon pastry.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I just don't grab any of them because I don't want to deal with CBS.
There you go.
Anything like CDS, I'm like, yeah, that's why I wanted to do this. Was just and also mostly I just wanted apple filling. Like I wanted an apple filling star cinnamon pastry that didn't have some of those. Yep, it's CDS like qualities to it.
Yeah,
And then I even did make a version with CDS, just try instead of the biscuit to see how that would work with adding a bit more of the bread depth. No.
No.
Distinguishable right away, right?
Yeah.
What did it taste like? A bloody apple?
No, dude, it was more like the sweet dough of just it had some Play-Doh qualities and just a lot of muting.
Sounds disgusting. Play-Doh and blood. Ugh.
Yeah, the
blood note, right? From
Huh?
CDS. You get the blood from CDS, like copper, like
no, I don't get the copper from it. It's just
metal, like
Pennies.
doing that contest even 3 years ago. Now I'm still never want to touch that flavor again.
that scarred you, dude. It really did scar you
Yeah,
for
man.
life.
Dude, 70 recipes of CDS will do that.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did that. I just can't believe it. You should be rewarded for that.
But again, it was also I mean, at least me and Alfred for sure were the other day we're throwing around, thanks to you, Graham, we're throwing around dumb apple filling recipes, and then that just was like, okay, let's do apple filling.
Oh yeah, totally. I was convinced you could use it in 3 drops.
oh yeah. No.
What was the recipe that we came up with? That I came up with the 1 2. It was a 1 2 3 recipe, but it was 1 2 3 drops in a 30.
Yeah. It was 1%.
One
drop of
Yeah,
rich
one-
cinnamon, 2 drops smooth vanilla, 3 drops apple filling.
It
Yeah.
almost works.
No, it doesn't.
Don't
It
lie to
does.
people. Don't try that.
It almost works. If you
There's like a light
1,000
flavor there and a lot of VG.
No, but didn't you guys do one drop each though of each one? Like one of
Jerry
you
did that.
I did. I made a tester of it. No, it tastes like VG.
Listen, I'm telling you, it changes everything with that 2 drops. The the second drop.
Oh my God.
Maybe if you scale it down to a 10 mil or a 5 mil.
Yeah, it might be 15. Like a 15 mil, it'll probably work.
Yeah.
I think that
That'd be better, probably.
it's the apple filling that doesn't work because the rich cinnamon and the smooth vanilla work.
I still don't even think they work enough.
No?
Like I think we overestimate how powerful and potent those flavors are.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If you're only doing two flavors in a 30, then they got to be a little bit stronger. You're right.
I think you could do it with like Arabian, but not in a 30 mil.
No.
Yeah. I think it would
I bet there's some flavors out there that would do it.
Mm,
You could do 1, 2, 3 drops.
yeah, I'm sure get some of that health cabin garbage.
That's how Health Cabin's going to thrive. That's what we got to do. No more than 3 drops.
I shouldn't say garbage.
1, 2, 3 drop corn.
Cabin drop recipes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 drop. Yeah, the flavor companies be blowing their heads off.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Just do 1, 2, 3 drop of just the corn.
Yeah.
No,
Don't
that's
be
too
too
much.
It might be possible with a health cabin. Somebody give that a try, not me.
Not it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
you
Take one for
drop,
two.
maybe?
I'm gonna make Health Cabin's gonna be the flavor company of the year 2019.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna
High
You're gonna go out of
claims.
business. It's going to take 16 years to get through a 30. Get through
Right.
one drop.
You think it's gonna be this year or what?
2076.
It might be 2119. I don't know.
2119. Okay.
By the time it's Steve's.
Somebody had mentioned in the comments of this recipe that they needed to pick up FA Bavarian cream because I think we've used it in every single recipe that we've released over the last few weeks.
That would be Alfred pudding.
Yeah.
What
Is
flavor?
FA Bavarian cream like that much different than all the other Bavarian creams?
It's a lot lighter,
Mhm.
but the base taste I wouldn't say is that much different. It does do something. Right. It does do some things different, and it's not nearly as like wet as like TPA's.
If
But,
you're exhausted with some of the other Bavarian creams, I guess that's kind of why we've been using it.
Yeah,
Jungle Flavors Bavarian cream is like way different, I think.
it is. It's way different.
Yeah,
No, I believe it is.
yeah. It seems a lot darker.
It
Yeah.
is darker, but I used to buy 30s of JF Bavarian cream because you can use that as emulsifier like surprisingly well compared to like just regular creams.
Yeah.
Dump it. Yeah, that was about 3 years ago? That was like,
The rage.
yeah, that was new. And it was like useful like in everything. Took everything in a different direction. It's good. I still think it's usable. I mean, there's nothing really that replaces it right now, right? For that, what you use it for?
Not that I can think of.
Mhm.
I mean, I think I used that in like making a sweet tart or like a orange drink or something, and it still works because it works as like a weird fruit emulsifier sometimes.
Did you put that in the sweet tart?
I think so.
Yo, everybody needs to stop and go check out that sweet tart recipe. That's like
I can't
that recipe.
remember.
It's what?
I can't remember. Look it up.
I think you might have. But that recipe is ridiculous. That's one of the best recipes I've ever made. Like no bullshit either. Jerry, is that what's it called? You called it just sweet tart, right?
I don't know.
I'm plugging the shit here, man.
I know it's OG sweet tart or something stupid. I don't know. It's a good old 3-star recipe on all the flavors.
Would that have to be because someone's a jerk off? You can't take that. You know, that should be a 5. That should be a 6. It's one of the best recipes I've ever made, and I'm just not bullshitting either, which I've been known to do.
No, but you said I know you're not lying because you made this up like every year.
Yeah.
Jerry, is your name on all the flavors Jerry Snaps?
Correct. Yes, it is.
Is it?
It is.
Way to confuse everybody. Have 42 different names. No, everything you're on, there's a different name.
I know, dude. It's fun.
You at one time have a different All Flavors account under a different name?
I might
Have
have.
you always been Jerry Snaps?
I think I've always been Jerry Snaps for the most part.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, one of the other names I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he stays loyal to the platform. But then, like, you go to another one, like, it's not going to be Jerry Snaps.
Yeah, I did. I used it at 2% in that recipe, and it worked as an emulsifier for the sweet tarts with marshmallow.
I never would have thought of putting that in something like a sweet tarts.
Right?
No, like specifically JF does some weird things with fruits that like it works. I've always been surprised by that. So that's like the most different Bab cream in my opinion.
I don't think I've ever tried just TFA pineapple.
Oh,
No?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
I
like the juicy pineapple's good too. The juicy pineapple might work good in that now that it's out. That wasn't out when you made that, huh?
No, probably not.
Huh. Yeah, I don't think it was.
The only thing about TPA pineapple is if you use it, like above 0.5%, it starts to get kind of dry, I think. And it's pretty harsh too, right?
I was gonna say it can be aggressive and it can get tangy and dry and just.
That's what Dave said. Dave saw.
Yeah.
I think it was Cassandra had a recipe with it at 4%.
Oh.
And Dave goes, this is the shit they used to bring down the Twin Towers, and he made it work at 4%.
Was that in his grilled stick recipe?
I think so.
I've had it then, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, actually, it's not bad in that mix.
I used to use it to simulate like a effervescence in like a soda, like a Coke mix. It definitely worked. I mean, at the time it worked for getting closer and closer to that, but it's definitely not effervescence, but it was close as you could get at the time. Just linger longer than me on this show just because there's no.
No, I'm still asleep too.
So
yeah, honestly, you probably for the apple fritter you could probably use TPA, but FA worked better, I think, just because it's a little drier.
Whatever it's doing in there, it really pulls it together.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I thought because we decided that because I thought we needed a cream, basically just to try to combine the apple and the fritter.
Yep, for sure.
Now, Emily, I have a question for you since we got you here. How would you change this recipe, or how would you go about making an apple fritter? Or you probably already have.
I think I have an apple fritter actually. I would use country apple and apple filling. You did good there. And I think for the crust, I don't know, like yours looks so convoluted. Like I'm a minimalist. So I would have used like either baker's touch or cinnamon pastry with the deep fried pastry dough. Maybe a little touch of pastry zest because I like how that makes other ingredients pop.
Right. Yeah, it was really interesting. I really wouldn't have been one of the things that I would have thought to put in there, but tasting it, I'm glad it's in there. It's a really interesting accent to everything.
Yeah, and I like because it's versatile. Like you can use it as a small accent, like 0.25% in something, or like this, you can go up to 1-2% and have it more of a presence. It's a really nice flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried about the zest part of that pastry in there. Yeah. But it doesn't I don't really notice it all that much. If I do, it's combining with that apple that gives it a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe almost a peel. I mean, an apple peel kind of note in there. What do y'all think?
A little bit. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised because it all actually works together way better than I expected. And the paste, I can get a bit of the pastry zest in there, but it's doing more with a little bit of the light pastry note that it actually does have when you take it up high. I think that's coming through more with the Belgian waffle than like the actual zest does. But the zest, I think, gets mixed in with the apple filling and works well.
Yeah, it's almost like a very slight like a bitters or something in there. That I think adds to the overall mix. It's not really a lemon note or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No,
got a little touch of lemon zest in it, but that's just one of like the many components of that flavor.
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
And I mean, like that's the same thing with the Belgian waffle. Like Belgian waffle has a maple note to it. You don't really get most any maple coming through it because there's so much. I mean, you have Cap Graham cracker, you have JF biscuit, which has some off notes sometimes. You have Liquid Barn Belgian waffle, which has some off notes, and apple. I could see that pastry zest has some weird off notes sometimes. It's just apple filling. Like none of them show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, on paper it doesn't look right at all.
It doesn't, but it's good.
But it totally works though. It's crazy.
The apple filling is most definitely the star of the recipe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As well, it should be.
Yeah, it should be. Most
Exactly.
most recipes.
Yeah, no, like I was. That's what I think I was happiest about was it actually all balanced together really well, and there isn't weird off notes coming out. Now, that is what I'm worried about with say a long steep, but I don't steep
Yeah.
that because I'm an animal.
So
I don't believe in steep.
so when
I
did
did-
so when
Oh,
did
go
we
ahead.
mix this up? About a week and a half ago, or
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
About
Was it-
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
And
Yeah.
about that,
So
It's
it's,
holding up pretty good. Yeah.
yeah, it is.
I think that weird thing that I got where it got to be that combination of dripping it on something different, but I think it's because the Cap graham cracker really just sticks around and it pushes kind of hard. It was kind of during that steeping time, it just kind of pushed around the Belgian waffle a little bit, but now it's got me thinking about Apple Jacks.
you could probably change that a bit and make an Apple Jacks. Yeah,
I'm gonna do an
Yeah.
Apple Jacks. Use that Flavor West flavor. Jack's
Yeah.
type. Or whatever.
or like I mean, so I would start with basically what you did to make Apple Jacks, but then you could also do something like what that new Capella Silverline or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
Apple Jacks or whatever.
Snacks.
Apple Smacks or Snacks or whatever.
Apple snacks.
hmm
That one you'd want to change. You'd have to change a lot of the body and the bread bakery base because that's like much more in the cereal 27 kind of popped corn
Right.
dry nut,
It's more like a whole snack.
right? Versus the like lighter dough that I was going for with like the Belgian waffle and stuff like that.
Right.
Courtney wants to know if we ever got a cherry that we were happy with.
No,
Real flavors, cherry pie filling.
She might be talking about that cherry cordial. that we were
Yeah,
working on.
yeah. Alfred and I worked on that, and we came up with a pretty good version that we liked. But after like a 5 or 6 day steep, it just fell apart. It just completely fell apart.
You know what I was thinking about might work? Is DIY Flavor Shack has their array line has a dark cherry. It's not bad. Doesn't really go medicinal. Might work in that.
Yeah, I've tried one of their cherries that they have an expert cherry which is
Yeah.
horrible, but
It's
they have
horrible.
but they have another cherry that is very similar to TPA cherry extra. Is it extra? Or
Extract.
extract?
Extract?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very similar to that, but there's a woody note in it, which, you know, in a cherry cordials, I don't think it would work. I think it probably would work in some type of a tobacco. The only thing is you have to use it high. You really you have to use it like at 6 to 8% to really get.
Go ahead. I'm trying to think which one you got because they have an array line, the flavor array line. It's a totally different line than what they usually carry or what their regular line.
Yeah.
It's like it's got a white label. It's like it's a different label even.
I've got a couple of their cherries. I think it may just be cherry flavor.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me see the label.
That's
Oh, you got one of their gigantic bottles that they give you?
yeah. I got one of these
$14.
huge bottles here.
Yeah, that is the flavor array line. What does it say? Cherry or does it say dark cherry?
It says cherry flavoring. That's all it says.
Okay, yeah. There's a dark cherry that's different, and it's a dark cherry. It's like
Yeah.
a, like one of those purple looking cherries, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just doesn't do the medicinal, but you can use it at varying percentages.
Mm-hmm.
Have any of you tried the Euro flavors Armenia cherry?
I've heard of that. Is it good?
Never even heard of it.
I haven't tested it yet. I just got it in, but Leilani actually is the one who told me about it. She said it's a pretty decent cherry. It doesn't have like a medicinal.
We hear that though, right? Like we always hear that about.
Yeah,
things.
you hear that,
Yeah.
and then you try it, and you're like, your hopes get dashed again. But
yeah, because cherry's so goddamn good if they do it right. You know.
Yep.
Sin has. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask: Has anybody tried Flavor West Cherry Crush? I haven't.
Oh, don't.
Ugh.
Don't.
No,
It's nasty.
Mr. Burgundy says it's dope.
What? Mr. Burgundy's broken.
Okay.
Oh,
I want to kind of know what kind of dope he is, because it's not it's not dope.
Mr. B, what are you thinking, man?
Well, I've yet to find a good cherry that I like. There's some that are okay when used correctly, but none of them are fantastic. They're kind of like chocolates.
I'm still stuck on marzipan. If I want cherry in anything, I'm using marzipan.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. That cherry that me and Dave came up with that one day. Remember that marzipan, jelly bean, and extract.
Mm-hmm.
When he was doing that one recipe, that's not bad. I mean, Dave knows how to cut the off notes off on shit, so it's pretty. It's actually pretty good. That
I like FA marzipan. I like Inaware marzipan. I like TFA cherry extract. Those are my personal
the
favorites.
Tart cherry is pretty good.
It's not bad.
Have that one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick that one up.
Put those two together, Max. The Inawera, right? Inawera marzipan, the extract, and then black cherry jelly bean.
The tart cherry though, like, let me down. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's
it has that tart note that you were mentioning earlier. Like, it has a really actual tart note to it, but then it still has an underlying cherry that's just medicinal.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. You know what? If you put it with the tangy orange, and then some pineapple, the cherry, the orange, and the pineapple, it makes one of those like big stick, the big stick bars or the popsicles. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
You know what I'm talking about? The missile pops or whatever they're called.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
It's almost like perfect. You could even put mango in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I've just never been impressed with the cherry, to be honest. Unfortunately.
Flavor Capella has a wild cherry that's not good at all either.
So Sin has a question. She said, "What happened to that creme brulee donut?" I think she's talking about, and if we ever tried Vape Train creme brulee, we are still working on that one.
And yes,
yeah, we all are pretty set on Vape Train creme brulee being in there.
Yeah,
but we want that recipe to be perfect, so it might take a little while.
Yeah, but we haven't forgotten it. We're going to go back to it.
Yeah,
but that Vape Train got us a lot closer for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Still think probably pick up 101 burnt sugar. Whether we use it or not is a really useful flavor. So.
And Sin specifically should pick up if she's going to pick up 101, get powdered sugar and raspberry and ice cream.
Yeah. All their sugars are good, actually. Brown sugar's good.
I think what we should do is a pink popcorn.
You've been on that, yeah. You've been on that.
Because I think we should do it for Sin. She wants that.
Pink popcorn?
Yeah. You ever seen pink popcorn? Do you know what it is? Like, apparently not everyone knows what it is.
Popcorn covered in candy melt.
Yeah. It's like a square, like a brick of popcorn, like covered in pink.
Like stuff. Instead of like caramel candy, it's kind of like
it's raspberry is what I figured out.
Is it raspberry?
I think so. I think the 101 raspberry and ice cream is exactly. If you put the raspberry and ice cream and TFA just plain raspberry together, and like a little bit of strawberry ripe, it totally makes that flavor with the powdered sugar.
We'll check that out. If people want to do, See that?
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Yeah.
So, kitchen sink, I guess that's the way you pronounce it, asks, could you add cranberry to cherry for a tart cherry? I have actually tried that so far with no success. So,
Because what cherry are you going to add it with?
exactly.
It's not, horrible.
You know what does work is the hibiscus.
It does seem to help. It absolutely does. Yeah, Capella, hibiscus, or what was the one that you suggested, Graham?
Wonder Flavors hibiscus candy, whereas it works in the tart cherry. Just to like tame it a little bit.
But you have to have a decent cherry to work with to begin with,
True.
Didn't people used to use like FA black currant too?
Oh, I'm a big fan of that trick.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it doesn't really make it as tart. Like I know a lot of people, some people are in the camp of using like FA pomegranate, which I'm not a fan of. And I like blackcurrant, but it's not really going to make it tart. I think that pomegranate usually makes it a little bit more juicy, and pomegranate or blackcurrant makes it a little bit more jammy, in my opinion. I don't know.
How can you not be a fan of FA pomegranate, Max? Go home.
Yeah.
I am home. I don't like it. I think I get a lot of medicinal. I just don't. I'm not a fan of it.
Well, you're just not using it right.
Apparently not.
But you like flavor art kiwi.
I like it with green tea. No, I like it with the acai tea.
That's the first thing you made me mix of yours, and you sold it as long